Hunter Biden has been subpoenaed to appear in person before the House Oversight Committee to answer questions. And in a newly released letter from Hunter Biden's lawyer, this is a guy named Abe or Abby Lowell, he very brazenly says Hunter will be appearing, but he will be appearing to give public testimony. I want to quote a few lines from the letter because they show this kind of aggressive posture that Hunter's lawyers are taking. We have nothing to hide. Our man is completely in the clear. This is all a big smear. He cannot wait to appear before you and set you people straight. You need to move on as legislators to more important business. I'll just read a couple of lines here. Mr. Chairman, we take you up on your offer. Accordingly, our client will get right to it by agreeing to answer any pertinent and relevant questions. He will appear at a public oversight and accountability committee hearing. And your empty investigation has gone on too long, wasting too many better used resources. It should come to an end. And it goes on to say the American people should see that for themselves. Now, what's interesting is Hunter was not subpoenaed to do a public hearing, at least not yet. Typically, this moves in a two-step process. And by the way, the two-step process mirrors pretty much any legal case. If you've ever been in any sort of litigation that goes to trial, before there's a trial, there's typically a private deposition. You sit down with the lawyers for the other side. They get to ask you a bunch of questions. This is their ability to find out what your answers are and get background information on you to prepare for trial. Then when you go to trial, they ask you questions, but of course you've given sworn testimony in a deposition, so that can be used to impeach you. So if you say something different, they go, turn to page 28 of your deposition. Didn't you say the exact opposite? And so the purpose of a deposition is, as I say, it's kind of a way station before the public trial itself. And so this is exactly what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They want to talk to Hunter in private, record what he says, have him under oath, and then bring him out into public testimony where you can have, in a sense, this trial before the American people, at least a hearing. So Hunter's lawyers are trying to get around that, and they're pretending like, no, we don't want to appear before closed doors. Some shady business is going to be going on. No, everything is transcribed. There's nothing shady that's going on. Democrats are present at those hearings. So in no sense is this some sort of an unfair process. In fact, the Democrats use the exact same process when they subpoena people, and they've done that exactly. So what you have here is Hunter Biden basically saying, let's go straight to trial. I'm ready to go on. I'm ready for it. And the House is like, no, we're trying to proceed in a kind of a measured and proper way. Part of what they want to find out from Hunter is, hey, Hunter, okay, you claim that you got, there were all these loans that are made to you. Let's see all those loan documents. When there are loans, there are typically interest rates, IOUs, repayment schedules. Let us get to the bottom of all this and see whether what you're saying is true. Now, you know and I know that there is a 99.9% probability that Hunter is lying. He's been running this massive corruption scheme in league with all the other Bidens. I think the House Oversight is like, we've pretty much busted you, but we have an obligation to hear from you. Maybe, this is a little bit like with 2,000 Mules. Maybe the mules can come up and give a perfectly good account of themselves. Yeah, the reason I went from this Dropbox to this Dropbox, you see, Dinesh, I'm really a guy who likes to stop and take a smoke. And so the Dropbox is kind of a convenient place for me to lean while I light up a cigarette. And that's probably why my cell phone shows me at all these Dropboxes, because that's my stopping point on these long walks. In other words, you might have an explanation. It could be preposterous. It could be plausible, but we want to hear what you have to say. And unfortunately, that never happened with the mules, but fortunately, it is happening with Hunter Biden. So it looks like Representative Comer is not going to be sort of suckered by all this. He realizes this is a little bit of theatrics by Hunter Biden's lawyer. All he has to say is, no, listen, that's not how the process works. You either respond to the subpoena, or if you don't, we're going to refer you for criminal prosecution. This is actually going to put Merrick Garland in an interesting position because he's prosecuted Trumpsters who did not follow subpoena rules. And so he's going to have to give some explanation of why he's not prosecuting Hunter if Hunter does not, in fact, cooperate with the House Oversight Committee. So the process continues. It's a little too slow for my liking, but nevertheless, I'm glad it's going on in the first place. Debbie and I made a New Year's resolution to lose weight, and thankfully, PhD weight loss came to our rescue. Hey, you can see the result for yourself. Debbie's lost 24 pounds. I've lost 27. We're keeping it off. We're now both on maintenance. The program is based on science and nutrition. No injections, no pills, no long hours in the gym, no severe calorie restriction. Just good, sound, scientifically proven nutrition. It's really simple. They make it easy by providing 80% of your food at no additional cost. They tell you when and what to eat. And guess what? You can do this without ever being hungry. The founder, Dr. Ashley Lucas, has her PhD in chronic disease and sports nutrition. She's also a registered dietitian. She helps people lose weight and, most important, maintain that weight loss for life. So if you're ready to take the plunge, take the step of losing weight like Debbie and I have, call PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. Here's the number, 864-644-1900. You can also find them online at myphdweightloss.com. The number again to call, 864-644-1900.